Welcome to the Mojo Market Report. Here's your hosts, Dave Sturchio and Chris Gucci.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Mojo Market Report right here on a Tuesday. It is Tuesday, March the 14th. I hope everybody else is doing well out there. It is, of course, your host, Dave Sturchio, Chris Gucci, right here at Shop Studio. New look, by the way. New look. I know we redesigned the place, but anyway, that's the.
We moved out of New York City.
Yeah, we were out of New York.
Saying.
Our lease ran out. It was too expensive. New York is just a crime. How much rent is out there? But anyway, hope everybody's doing well out there. We got a lot to get into today. Obviously, free agency frenzy has come and has started and is already continuing already this morning. Cowboys lost another guy, so that's continuing. The Cowboys like all the guys they have, by the way.
Packers are in on Lazard, by the way.
I did see that.
Yeah.
I did see that.
And
After
they're
all
also in on Thielen, which I said that they would be.
They're going to be in on Thielen. No,
They're in on every receiver.
Rodgers is going to be in on Thielen. I think wherever Rodgers goes is going to be in on Thielen.
No,
that's my opinion.
I read an article this morning that the Packers are in on almost every single free agent wide receiver, no matter where Aaron Rodgers lands.
Okay, well, we get into the Aaron Rodgers stuff as we start with the NFL because that is the topic of conversation right now. Is the NFL has absolutely gone ham yesterday. You know, one thing we actually brushed right over yesterday.
Yeah.
Was the fact that the Bears traded away the number one pick. And I know it's ridiculous because of all the stuff we were prepping for. I wasn't even thinking about the fact that the Bears traded away that pick, but they did. And I think, honestly, they got a beautiful haul for it. Could they have gotten more from somebody else? I don't know.
I doubt it.
I'm not sure how many suitors there were.
They got a lot. I mean, the Colts, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe one other team.
But I think the Colts are going to find themselves in a position where they're going to they like one of 3 or 4 guys. You know what I mean? Like, so number one, obviously with the number one pick going to the Carolina Panthers, Frank Reich being a quarterback guru that he is, he's leaning, I've heard, C.J. Stroud. Then I'm hearing conflicting reports that he loves Anthony Richardson. So it's like, it's interesting how they're going to play this out. This might go down to the wire, might pull off a Browns thing.
I didn't know that Frank Reich was given the number one pick. Is he the GM too? Because that would be insane to me.
I'm assuming he gets a lot of
I would say that he
here.
has at least they'll ask him, what do you think? But at the end of it, it's not going to be the first-year head coach's pick. We've seen this before, and look where it ended up in Arizona. Kingsbury was like, oh, we're getting the first pick. He came in, he said, Kyler's my guy. That did not work. I'm not saying that the Frank Reich situation is going to be similar, but I don't know. Frank Reich's on his second stop in as many years. I'm not going to just anoint him the first pick. And if I was, the things that I was reading was that he was like in on Will Levis, and it's like a prime fit. It's a Carson Wentz reincarnate.
Oh God, do you really want a Carson Wentz reincarnate?
I mean, yeah. If Carson Wentz doesn't get hurt, Carson Wentz would have probably been a decent. Like, look at what he was on his way to do that one season. Yeah, I'm not saying that was
one season,
hold up,
many moons ago.
But guess who was the OC there? That
Frankie Reich.
It was Frank Reich. So
yeah, of course.
We'll see.
Listen, I think he's going to pick the right guy.
I'm just trying to stir the pot.
Yeah, of course. I think he's going to pick the right guy, whoever they want. But in return, the Bears are getting DJ Moore. They get a whole bunch of picks this year, next year. Obviously, they trade back into the Panther spot. DJ Moore.
Ready for the stat? DJ Moore stat?
Sure.
He's 25, right?
Yeah, sure.
If DJ Moore was a Bear for his entire career, right now, he'd be the 3rd all-time leading receiver for Chicago. Oh They've been in the league since 1920. What?
Is that real?
That's real. Guess who's first?
Wait, don't tell me. Receiver, Bears.
You're already wrong. It's a running back. And it might even be another running back, too, which is crazy.
Walter Payton?
Walter Payton. And
is the all-time leading receiver for the Bears?
The all-time leading. He has more receptions than any other Bear ever. And you know who might be second?
Jim McMahon dumps it off again.
Matt Forte might even be second, which is crazy. He's not, but I guarantee he's pretty high on the list, Matt Forte.
Think about the Bears quarterbacks for our entire lives. I guess the best one they had was Jay Cutler, right? I mean, he was slinging it to the other team, but he was slinging it. Rex Grossman went to a Super Bowl.
Jim McMahon.
No, my lifetime. Not your lifetime. Well, that's 85. I was 1, maybe 1. But
he stuck around in Chicago for a
They
little
just
bit.
never had a quarterback. And it's crazy because and that goes to show you DJ Moore would have been their 3rd all-time.
I think the
That's
last time
insane.
that an Ohio State quarterback won a playoff game, it was for the Bears. Might have been Mike Tomczak.
Wow. That's the second Mike Tomczak reference we've had in a few days.
They were both in reference to Ohio State quarterbacks. And
we were talking.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Anyway, so the Bears get themselves a nice haul. Good for them. I think they spent a lot of money yesterday. They've been doing really, really good things over there in the front office. So we'll see how this all plays out. But obviously, the free agency frenzy started yesterday. We got there was a report that came out of Trey Wingo, who, again, Trey Wingo is a highly respected former ESPN guy. And, he came out and said, look, trade's done. Rodgers is a Jet. History repeats itself in New York, blah, blah, blah. But I heard nothing of the sort from anybody else. So nothing is confirmed.
I'm actually hearing the opposite.
What are you hearing?
Well, I'm not hearing. I think that there's some funny stuff going on in the Packer Twitter world right now amongst players between Aaron Rodgers and a couple of the guys that it might seem like there's a possibility that he's the Packer quarterback.
Aaron Rodgers took to Twitter last night. Did you see that?
Zool.
What does that mean?
Because Aaron Rodgers
Wait, Zool, he said?
Rasul Butler, they're tweeting back and forth, and he's like, yo, Rasul Butler said, I know what's going on. I have A-Rod's phone. And then they were just going back and forth with each other. So, I mean, there's a little playful banter amongst the Packers players. You would think that and there was a tweet put out with by Rasul Butler, and it was Rasul Butler and Aaron Rodgers walking out of the tunnel together. So is there some possibility that there's a little bit of...
So what was with Garrett Wilson, who came out on Twitter yesterday? I got a big smile on my face right now. I can enjoy my vacation.
I'm sure just like you, me, the rest of the world, they see Trey Wingo's tweet, and they're like, hey, this is a done deal. This is what we've been waiting on. But in true Aaron Rodgers form, it is not a done deal, and we are still waiting on him.
It's just crazy. We talked about this yesterday, but it's just crazy. Like, the Jets can't move forward. They can't move forward.
Neither team can.
But I'm saying, you're right. Neither team can. But I'm saying
I also don't think that the Jets are in a position to move forward. Like
they just ran out of time because now they lost Carr to the Saints. Jimmy G yesterday, we'll get into him in a second. He signs a big deal.
Maybe this whole time, Aaron Rodgers' master plan was to stay with the Packers, but ensure Zach Wilson a starting job next year. Because they lost everybody.
Dude, Mike White skipped town, which, by the way, WFAN.
Got paid way too much.
But he can earn it. And maybe he's a starter with the Tua situation. Who knows? But WFAN in New York.
Roasted.
Put out no. They put out a tweet.
I heard Carton talking crazy.
Well, Mike Carton went out there and went nuts. But I got to show you this. And what's the first thing you think of when you see a tweet like this? I got to bring it out with WFAN. Okay, here we go. Maybe they even took it down because they got flamed for it. Let's see. I'm not seeing it yet, but there it is. Okay.
Was it saying something like DC wouldn't beat Brock?
What when you see funny. When you see that, what does it look like?
Looks like he passed away.
It looks like he's no longer with us. If you guys have looked, I mean, you can't see that, but there's like angel wings and thank you. Like, I get he saved the season last year to an extent. It got you guys hyped, and I get that. The Jets were all in on Mike White. Mike effing White t-shirts.
Did he save what?
What did he save? First of all,
did they
WFAN?
Wait,
wow.
Did they make the? They made the playoffs?
No, they lost 6 straight.
So what are we talking about?
And he gets paid. But we're talking about the Jets, and obviously they're in the waiting period right now with Aaron Rodgers, and it's just it's insane.
I think Rodgers is a Packer.
Oh God!
Right now,
I don't know.
I don't know what he's going to be tomorrow.
I don't know what would be a bigger loss for the New York Jets fan base if they thought they had Aaron Rodgers in their firm grasp, and then all of a sudden the Packers sweep that rug out from under him and say, hey, by the way, our starters next year is Aaron Rodgers.
It wouldn't be the Packers. The Packers there would be 2 teams holding an L right there. As far as the Packers front office is concerned, they've moved on. They're waiting on Aaron Rodgers to say yes.
So they're just almost, and not from a financial standpoint, they're almost hoping he retires, right?
No. Retirement's the worst.
With the contract.
With the contract. Financially, trading him to the Jets is the most ideal situation for the Packers because they get compensation and they get alleviation on the cap, whichever way it comes out. I know that they don't get the alleviation this season. They lose $7 million in the cap this year if Rodgers goes. They factored that into everything. But next year they're in the clear and they could fully go full steam ahead, and then that allows them to see what they have with Jordan Love this year and see, do we want to pay him?
Interesting.
I think they're going to pay him.
Aaron Rodgers stuff keeps on keeping on. It was a day for the offensive and defensive interiors yesterday. A lot of money spent on the front, both sides of the ball. I do have to bring up the 49ers' new pass rush. I mean, adding Hargrave yesterday from the Eagles, which again, for me, I'm excited about it. The Eagles lose a star. But now you have Hargrave, Bosa, Armstead, and Fred Warner. It's like, who's blocking these guys? Everything, to me, if you have a good pass rush, it alleviates every flaw that you possibly have on defense. It
basically just means that the 49ers are going to be good next year again, no matter what.
It really does. And it's either Trey Lance, Brock Purdy, or Sam Darnold. What was that? Like, what?
Well,
I mean, I get it, but I don't.
There's two guys that are coming off of a...
Didn't he go to USC?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's back in Cali.
Well, it makes sense because, look, what'd they sign him for? What'd they get him for?
Pennies, really.
Now,
I mean,
so if it doesn't work out, what do they got? They got a former top 5 pick that could run the practice squad. Good deal, right? Maybe a team will have some interest in him because he did warrant a 3rd-round pick before 2 seasons ago. So it's not like there is no value whatsoever. And last year he stepped in and didn't play awful, right? So Sam Darnold has a little bit of potential down the line. I don't think so, but some teams might think so. And at that price, when you have Trey Lance with the injury, Brock Purdy just had surgery literally 2 days ago, it makes sense.
Fine. They really just now?
Yeah, they was swollen.
I understand.
Went down.
Jesus, that's a long time.
I have one more thing to throw in. This has nothing to do with Brock Purdy or Trey Lance or Sam Darnold. Did you see the trade rumor surrounding Dalvin Cook?
Yes, to join his brother.
Or the Dolphins. That's the 2 teams that are in on Dalvin Cook, and it's going to happen. One of the 2 teams are going to get him. Running backs, nobody cares anymore about running backs.
I could say that because yesterday, one of the breaking news things before anybody signed was the fact that Austin Ekeler was granting permission to seek a trade. Like, Crazy. What is happening here with the running backs?
If you want a running back, just give up a 4th, right? And then if you're willing to pay a back end of a contract, but that's the deal. Dalvin Cook, you're going to have to re-up him soon. That's why they're like, all right, we're going to trade him. They're not going to make the same mistake that...
But they lost Madison, too. Did they not, to free agency?
I mean...
So they have no... If they trade away Dalvin Cook, they have no running backs.
Is Madison signed somewhere else?
Not yet.
Well...
It's blowing my mind what they're doing to these running backs. I mean, all of a sudden, there's no value behind any of them.
And then when you're looking at... Now you look at the Dallas Cowboys' projected first pick, and then some's like, I don't really feel comfortable because of the availability right now. So you could pretty much go get it back. You could go get Derrick Henry for like a 3rd rounder right now.
It's insane to me.
You know, you really want to get Bijan Robinson, probably a better player going forward. But for this season, without any type of anything going forward, not having to worry about paying him.
We're watching, or the Pat McAfee shows up in the studio yesterday, and we're watching it as guys sign their contracts. And he brought up a decent point. He's like, you know, with all the interior offensive linemen, a lot of the guards got paid yesterday, right? Including the Cowboys losing Connor McGovern to the Bills. Now, is that kind of where we're going, like ground and pound again? But then I'm thinking, like, but nobody cares about running backs anymore.
No. The reason being, it's nobody cares about running backs. There's nobody going ground and pound, and it's more indicative as to where the league is headed when you see the guys that don't hit the market. Tackles don't hit the market. Receivers don't hit the market. Quarterbacks don't hit the market. That's where the league is headed. It's pass protect, pass rush. You know, your interior linemen, they're free agents for a reason because nobody pays them when they're in-house. Very rarely. Yeah. So
it's insane.
They end up getting their bag in free agency, and it makes sense, but it's kind of a catch-22 with what you're pointing out. It's like, is that where the league is headed? I think, you know, the receivers, that there is none available whatsoever.
I mean,
teams don't let those commodities go.
There is Thielen out there now. There's Juju out there now. Odell Beckham Jr. still trying to warrant something. You're just sweeping them away. You don't want any of these guys.
I'm not saying I don't want them, but let's be real. Are you committing a multi-year deal to any of the guys that you just talked about?
Odell, maybe.
What?
Well, I'm talking about 3 years. That's multi.
3 years without after one.
Sure. Ideal.
Right?
And that's only because of the guy's personality.
So there is no
flies
real,
off the handle again.
We're talking fake long-term deal for Odell because there's no way you're not going to build in and out with the injury history there, right? Yeah. I would say Thielen's like consistent. He'll probably give you 32 games in 2 years, but I don't know what you're going to get out of him after maybe 20 of them. You know, start to tail off.
One more big deal that was signed yesterday. Obviously, we're talking about Aaron Rodgers before. We're talking about the Jets before. The Jets' plan B might have been Derek Carr. He goes and signs with the Saints. The plan C might have been Jimmy G. Jimmy Garoppolo signs a pretty nice deal with the Las Vegas Raiders. We were looking at the numbers yesterday, and it seems to be a very good deal for the Raiders. I believe it's $67 million or $76 million. One of those. I might be dyslexic on that one. But that's a good deal, 3 years. Now, I've read that this gives the Raiders flexibility at the 7th overall pick. But I think, this is just my opinion.
The Raiders have the 7th pick?
Yeah. My opinion is they still draft a quarterback.
I thought they were picking lower than that.
No. But what I'm thinking is that they still pick a quarterback, and Jimmy G finds himself in the same situation he was just in, where he might do okay with the Raiders, right, next year, but then it's Will Levis's team in 2025.
Well, when you're looking at the contract that you're signing as a free agent, I think that the writing is on the wall that that's exactly what you are in this league. Look at where he fits.
He's a stopgap.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
He's not getting the $35 million, $40 million
No,
like
he's
the
not.
rest of these guys. He's getting what he's worth. Plus, it's not to mention, we just talked about Odell with the injury history. Jimmy G can't stay on the field either. He's hurt every year. So as consistent as he is at being very average, he's also consistently getting injured. But I'll tell you what, you're going to have a nice big old billboard on Fremont Street in downtown Vegas. I can promise you that.
He is. Him, and now I know Devontae Adams, there's a lot of rumors circling that he was just angry and upset about the whole thing, but he basically said, if you haven't talked to me in 2 weeks, don't come at me now with all these, I can't believe you got Jimmy G. They knew, the Raiders knew there was a situation happening. We all thought, we all played it off here.
What did we think was going to happen when they let Derek Carr go? And they
what we thought was that Jarrett Stidham was the guy.
Well, that's
and
what I'm
he
saying.
hightails it out of there.
I'd rather have Jimmy G.
By himself.
I'd rather have Jimmy G than
I would have
Stidham.
much rather had both of them on the roster, just in case.
Well, I mean, I'd rather Josh McDaniels be fired.
Josh McDaniels is a dumpster fire. It just
there's
doesn't
something
seem
really off with what's happening in
But
Vegas.
how about
I just
Sean
don't
Payton?
understand. What are we doing here?
How about Sean Payton, man? Sean Payton recruited yesterday. He got himself a backup quarterback. He's got 2 offensive linemen that came in. They spent big money on an offensive line yesterday to protect Russell Wilson.
Sean Payton's going to do what he did to New Orleans and Denver. And that means he's going to destroy everything and then leave him in his wake.
What about see, I don't know. To me, I got a decent, a far away decent feeling about a Broncos resurgence next year. Under Sean Payton, you're signing all these guys in the interior.
I don't disagree entirely.
Javonte's coming back with a new offensive line.
They're saying maybe mid-season on Javonte. Maybe. But that's fine. He's a running back. We all know they don't matter.
I can.
Right?
They don't matter.
That's funny. You got to admit. But I'm more so talking about they might improve next year. I'm talking about in the future. If you're just going to go all in. This is what the Saints did, and now the Saints are in peril salary cap-wise.
They restructured Kamara yesterday, too.
Do you know that they're still $30 million over?
Oh, they got some work to do.
But again, the Saints aren't signing anybody, but I noticed a lot of Saints are signing with other teams.
The Saints are signing people.
No, they're restructured.
They lost Davenport.
They restructured Lattimore.
They restructured Kamara. So
they're not signing guys; they're restructuring guys.
Not that I've seen. No. Anyway, the Eagles. I was talking about them before. They lose Hargrave. They lose T.J. Edwards to the Bears. The Bears went free spending yesterday. They got $90 million to do it, so they might as well do it. They have a silver lining of yesterday was Jason Kelsey announced that he's coming back for another year, so they do have their all-pro center, so that's good for them. We talked about Ekeler already. Mike White signs with Miami. It was just a crazy day in the NFL, and I think it gets crazier. This isn't even considered a second wave yet. It's day 2, right? The new league year starts Wednesday, so people are still putting things in place. Michael Gallup restructured for Dallas, opening up some more money over there. So there's a lot more stuff to happen within the next couple days, so keep your eyes and ears peeled to obviously the Mojo app, mojo.com. They're breaking stories over there as well, so keep your eyes over there. So, NBA, last night.
Clay.
Yeah, wow. What a game.
33 in the first.
Yeah, I mean, Clay had himself a day, but if you're a Mojo Market, I took the top 3 prop bets last night, and I played each one of them. I said, you know what? These are why they ranked them so high. They're obviously ranked high because they cost the most, and they're I don't want to say likely to happen, but it's just I don't know.
They're more fun to watch.
They are, right? And they're stars. So I started with Devin Booker, right? Talk about some strike of luck, man. He was set at 31, drops 32 last night.
Go.
So bang, hit that one. That was beautiful. But then I'm thinking Steph Curry, late night, got it.
It must have been beautiful when you woke up to that 32. There's no way you saw that 32nd point.
Oh, no, I didn't. I woke up to that one. Yeah,
Long
no,
gone.
I was long guy. I was in my third dream. We were here till 10:30 late last night. Steph Curry, unfortunately, his number was set at 29. He scores 23. But Trae Young, and I don't root for Trae Young in any way, shape, or form because I'm not a Hawks guy, and I certainly don't forgive what he did to my Knicks a couple years back. They got destroyed. Don't get me wrong. 136-115 from the Minnesota Timberwolves. However, Trae Young drops 41, and his bar was set at 28. So he goes far over. I'm excited about the props now. Now, if you look on the app, it's loaded.
Yeah, it's nice.
Loaded. So I was talking to one of the guys over there at Mojo yesterday. I said the new interface looks incredible. It looks like everything's just clean, and now you can just click on certain things, so nothing's jumbled anymore. Not that it was jumbled; everything was always easy to find, but now it's just like bang, you click on props, you're there. Bang, who's playing today? Bang, what sport? This, that, there. It's all clean. It's all good over there. I'm loving the new look to the new app. So, just taking a look real quick at tonight's games here on a Tuesday, loaded slate. Games that I can actually, I can't. There's no way I stay up for the Knicks game tonight. They're still on the West Coast. They're starting 10 o'clock in Portland. Can't do it. But they will probably pop up on a couple prop bets. Big game over there, Milwaukee visiting the Suns. So that's going to be good. Giannis is getting involved over there. That's really it.
Nice little fight to end the game with the Bucks and
I missed it. Anybody
Nuggets.
actually pick on Giannis?
I think it was Bucks Nuggets last night. It was like 15 seconds to go in the game. Somebody fouled Giannis hard for no reason. And then Brook Lopez said, no.
Brook Lopez, still that guy.
I want to do my best Brook Lopez voice, but I won't.
You can't do it. Just don't do it. Anyway, so that be that. That is a show. Ja enters counseling program is what I'm reading in Florida. So that's, what does that say?
I mean, that's just like that's a figurehead counselor. Say, hey, we're going to put out a story.
Can you knock it off? Just that's what they're going to say. Can you just knock it off? Anyway, we were talking about it before. Do us a favor right now. Follow us on all the social medias, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, at Mojo, MOJO is the way to do it. And, of course, the Discord is the way to keep up with all of us every day. And, of course, if you have a problem, there's 1-800-GAMBLER. Don't go crazy, but the liquid props are fun. You just got to know when to – oh, my God, I almost just quoted that song. You got to know when to fold them, know when to hold them.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, it's that. Yeah, listen, it's a very, very early morning over here at Chop Studios. The new
Dave
Chop
turns
Studios.
60 tomorrow, guys.
Yeah, I know. It's you're not wrong, dude. All of a sudden, like, I'm older than you now, and it's just like, man, just a late night. But anyway, this is what the NBA and the NFL does to me because I can't go home and just lay in bed and say, that'll be it. I'll wake up tomorrow. I got to scroll.
You see the Ian Rappaport situation yesterday?
No.
They were on air.
Okay.
I forget. I don't know the guy's name. Forgive me. But somebody there. It was like a panel. It was Mike
Garofalo.
Yeah.
Garoppolo. No, Garofalo.
Garofalo.
Yeah,
I know an Anthony
I worked with him.
Garofalo,
I
and
worked
his
with him in
name is
2007.
So anyway, one
guy.
guy gets a call. And he's like, hold on, I'm on air. Don't give it to anybody else. And he puts it down. The other guy fakes like he's answering his phone right after that. And then Ian Rappaport answers his phone,
he
takes
has
his headset off, and he's like, mainly don't give it to Ian. Ian gets up and like walks off the set and doesn't care.
That's hilarious.
And the guy was like, yo, is this real? He's like, this is a shtick, right? And they're like, no, that's definitely a real call. And he's like, oh, I got to get through this then. Because he wanted to get the scoop. Obviously, it's great.
That
NFL
is great.
Free agent frenzy.
That is a frenzy.
And I don't even like any of the networks, by the way. Just saying. I like my own network.
Except right here. Right here on the YouTube channel over on Mojo.
I have a love-hate relationship with Ian Rappaport, though.
People say you look like him.
Well, that's not why. Let's just chill out. That's not true. People say
that?
I look like Eli Manning.
There was a couple. You've been getting a couple references.
And that is the most disrespectful thing that I've ever heard in my entire life, by the way.
Super Bowl
I would say
champion?
Eli and Ian Rappaport might look alike.
I mean, I would have to.
Yeah, they do.
Sure.
They do. I don't look like those guys. Thanks.
You do now.
He's 60 and his voice cracks.
Yeah, listen, a lot of changes happening over here at Chop Studios. We'll see you guys tomorrow for Dave Sturchio, Chris Gucci. Thanks for tuning in again, and we'll see you guys in the morning.
Jordan Love season, baby.